Welcome back, everybody, to the Come Study With Me series, if that's what we want to call it. I don't know. But I'm very happy that you all have been looking at the videos. I hope you are studying along with me. The whole purpose of me sharing this is because I wish I had had somebody sharing it for me, right? So I can share it with you guys. And I also feel like I'm studying along with you. The explanations for the answers will be shared on here. I'm not going to spend all this time reading because, of course, then we go into an hour video when we don't have to. So let's start with the circulatory system. Question 1, which of the following is not a function of the circulatory system? Big heads up. Remember, these words are going to pop up on your HesiA more than you would like in all subjects, okay? What I will tell you is that out of all the subjects where I had 55 or 60 questions on, anatomy and physiology was only 25. So there's a very, very small margin here of error. So please take your time with your HesiA if that's the case for you guys, where you're only getting 25 or 30 questions. Then pay attention to these little keywords here that are not going to be bolded or italicized or capitalized, flagged, underlined, nothing. I fell for it many a time because I was in a hurry and I really couldn't afford it, okay? So let's go ahead and see which of the following is not a function of the circulatory system. So not a function. Does it transport waste? Does it regulate blood sugar? Does it thermoregulate? Does it transport nutrients? I'm going to pick that it does not regulate blood sugar. That is the job of the endocrine system. Okay, so let's go ahead and look. And there is your explanation. It is correct, right? And it tells you why. If you need to pause the video, please do so you can read it. Which of the following is a function of blood? Is a function. Now it's going to is. Tricky, right? Trying to play mind games with me. Which of the following is a function? Is movement a function of blood? Development of secondary sex characteristics? Excretion of waste? Or transporting of gases? I'm going to say transport of gases because these are specifically more for, like in this case, I'm looking at the skeletal system. I'm looking at hormones here, the pituitary gland or the thyroid. You know, I'm looking at others, reproductive, right? And liver here. I mean, I'm going to stick with the transport of gases with that one. And it's correct. And here it is, you know. Your explanation, make sure you pause it if you want to pause it so that you can read it. I love this app here. It's very nice and it explains very well. And sometimes it reiterates it in all the questions. It just keeps on repeating it to where you learn it. Which type of blood cell transports oxygen? Which type of blood cell transports oxygen? Are they the erythrocytes, the lymphocytes, the morphonuclear cells, or the platelets? So we're talking about transporting oxygen, and honestly, we know platelets are blood clotting, lymphocytes, therefore, isn't it for the immunity, right? So in erythrocytes, up and foremost, right, for me. The red blood cells transport oxygen, right? And here we go. It'll tell you the polymorphonuclear cells in lymphocytes both fight pathogens and protect the organism. For those of you that thought that word, that long word there, I was the same way too, okay? I had to go read my material. Which of the following components of blood Which of the following components of blood is correctly paired with its function? Monocytes for clotting, granulocytes for production of antibodies, platelets transporting of gases, or lymphocytes for acquired immunity. And I am going to go with the lymphocytes because I already said something about them earlier having to do with immunity. So, sorry, I'm having to deal with my cat. Every time that I turn around, here's the explanation, guys. It is correct, okay? The answer was correct. Here's your explanation. But anytime my cat hears me talking, whether it's with people in the house or on the phone, or even if I'm reading out loud, for crying out loud is more like it, this cat has to get into everything he can. Like he's Dennis the Menace. Okay, which type of blood cell is responsible for clotting? Okay, we just read a little bit about the polymorphonuclear leukocytes, which have to do with immunity, right? In pathogens and what have you. Platelets, we know, are for clotting. Oh, there we go. Erythrocytes, and then we have lymphocytes, okay? So let's go ahead and check. That is correct. Okay. Sometimes I surprise myself too. Let's see. There's your answer. Pause if you need to read it. Thank you for being here with me. It makes me feel good that somebody's actually looking at these, and I hope you're practicing and use them over and over and over until you learn them, right? Read the material there. Where does erythropoiesis take place? Does it take place in the red bone marrow, the thymus, the yellow bone marrow, or the heart? And I just know this already from seeing it in so many places, because I'm always trying to study questions, you know, everywhere. And you'll see this one come up a lot for AMP and the circulation. So it is the red bone marrow, and there's your explanation. Okay, and we're gonna move on. What is the shape of an erythrocyte? Well, this was fun. I had to like really read it and just pay attention, and memorize, right? So we have the discoid, we have the kidney shape, we have the oval, and we have the bioconcave, okay? What shape is an erythrocyte? I'm gonna say bioconcave, okay? But we also have the discoid, which I think that one's platelets. I'm still not 100% sure. Kidney shaped, aren't those the monocytes? And oval would be the erythrocyte, not the erythrocytes, is it the lymphocytes? Let's check. I don't know. Let's see. Did I remember well or not, right? Okay, yeah, the lymphocytes are oval shaped, and here it does tell you the kidney shaped nucleus here, right? It tells you about monocytes, erythrocytes, and their shape are bioconcave, which was correct. Okay, and I think it talks about the platelets as well right here, right? So yeah, something did stick, right? What is the function of hemoglobin? Listen here, this one here always threw me off, has always thrown me off, because the minute I see it, I think about the hemoglobin and the hematocrit and iron levels, right? So real quick, if I was taking the HesiA, guess where I would have done this and moved on to the next one, was transporting iron, right? Transporting iron. Read on, guys. Transporting protein, transporting oxygen, and transporting glucose. Read on past this one. It threw me off, and I'm sure I lost my points on my HesiA if this came up on there, okay? It is oxygen, not iron. But I just was so not reading the whole question, reading all the answers, right? So yeah, I probably lost some points there, and there it is, the explanation. I won't this time if this comes up. All right, which of the following leukocytes is part of the acquired immune system? So here we are with the immune system as our basis, right? Is it the neutrophils, the macrophage, the eosinophil, or the lymphocyte? And I am going to pick lymphocyte because we're talking about acquired immune system, and I mean, that one's just ingrained in my head, right? So here we go, and there you go. It gives you everything on EO, what is it, the fills and the sites and the macrophage, okay? The muscular layer of the heart is called what? So if you know your layers, right, and you know your prefixes, your Latin, right, whatever it is, right, endo is very deep, myo is muscle, peri is a more superficial or outer, and epi is also a more superficial and outer. So if you know your arrangement here, we know that muscle or muscular layer of the heart would be called the myocardium, because this one's deeper and these are more to the outer or superficial, right, around the heart. All right, and it's correct, and here's your explanation, and there you go. There's your order if you need it. Which of the following describes the cardiac cycle? Okay, is it mechanical? Let's see, the sequence of mechanical events taking place in the heart from the beginning of one heartbeat to the next? Is it the sequence of electrical events taking place in the SA node from the beginning of one heartbeat to the next? Is it the sequence of mechanical and electrical events taking place in the heart from the beginning of one heartbeat to the next? Or the electrical events taking place in the heart from the beginning of one heartbeat to the next? Well, if we know anything, we know that the heart has to function with the assistance of the electrical, right? The electrical events. But we also have to think that we need mechanical. Once the electrical is there, then the mechanical has to occur. So I went with both the electrical and the mechanical. It just made all kinds of sense. It's not gonna work with just one or the other. So here we go. And there's your answer and why. If anyone needs to read it, pause the video, okay? There we go. And wow, very long explanation, but hey, very, very much needed, right? If you need to understand it. The left atrium receives blood from the pulmonary artery, pulmonary vein, is it inferior vena cava? I don't have my glasses on, guys. Or the superior vena cava, right? And this is one that's ingrained in my brain as well, okay? The pulmonary vein, all right? So here's the reason why. And then it goes through the series here and tells you what the superior and inferior vena cava do, right? And whatnot. What the artery does, okay? And the veins. So there you go. Almost done here. The pulmonary artery supplies blood to the left atrium, the lungs, the left ventricle, or the right atrium. Now look, the key word for me here, and this works for me, it doesn't mean that everybody has to use it, but it works for me, is pulmonary, okay? What does pulmonary mean? Lungs, right? The pulmonary artery supplies blood to the lungs because it's pulmonary. All right, so here's your answer. It is correct. And there we go again with another explanation on the dynamics, right, of circulation in the heart. Okay, which of the following correctly describes the flow of blood through the heart after the vena cava drains into the heart? Which of the following describes the flow of blood through the heart after the vena cava drains into the heart? Okay, is it going to the right atrium, the right ventricle, pulmonary vein, pulmonary artery, left atrium and left ventricle, right atrium, right ventricle, pulmonary artery, pulmonary vein, left atrium, left ventricle, left atrium, left ventricle, pulmonary vein, pulmonary artery, right atrium and right ventricle, left atrium, left ventricle, pulmonary artery, pulmonary vein, right atrium, and right ventricle. Well, up and foremost, we need to remember that everything is going to start, okay, with the right atrium, okay? This is the flow of the blood through the heart. So it's going to start in the right atrium and then go to the right ventricle. We know that for sure. But I just talked about the pulmonary vein, okay? And that is incorrect. So I'm going to go find the right atrium again. We only have it twice here. Right atrium, right ventricle, the pulmonary artery, okay? And how I remember this too is this atrium. Okay, the atria starts with the atrium, ventricle, and then we go to the artery, the A again, right? Pulmonary vein flows into the left atrium, which we just talked about, and left ventricle. Okay, that is the correct one. And here's your flow again. If you want to pause so you can remember this, screenshot it. The pacemaker of the heart. Oh my goodness, this was a big one in A&P. The pacemaker. Which one is it? Which one is it? Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness, am I wrong? Yes! I knew it. I knew it. I should have picked the essay note. Oh my gosh. Now I know. This one is one that I keep getting wrong. I keep getting this one wrong. Oh my gosh. Get it in my head that it's the essay note is the pacemaker of the heart. Everybody knows that. There's a bunch of you right now saying it. Everybody knows that. Don't you remember that? Right, from A&P 1 and 2. Well, apparently it won't stick in my head. So here we go, guys. There's an explanation. And there's nothing wrong with getting one wrong or getting some wrong. That's why I'm doing this with you, right? Eventually I'll get it. I can laugh about it for sure. I won't be laughing about it if I miss it in in the HesiA. Boy, I'm gonna be crying, right? The specialized neuromuscular tissue found in the atrial septum near the atrioventricular septum is called, okay, am I gonna get it? Okay, the right answer over there was AV node. And we got AV node again, or am I gonna get this wrong? Oh, there we go. And the key word here, guys, is the atrioventricular septum. Okay, there it is. Okay, there you go. Oh my goodness. Oh, I was starting to shake in my boots and get all sweaty. The Purkinje fibers conduct impulses to the ventricular septum, atrioseptum, atrium, or the ventricles. The Purkinje fibers conduct impulses to the, and I'm going to put ventricles, all right? I just remember that one. It's nothing, of course, reading this over and over, and it's been said so many times on different answers, you're going to remember some things, except in my case, that the pacemaker of the heart is the AV node. What does the EKG, or was it the AV node? What does the EKG do? This one comes up a lot in a lot of, platforms where you're studying. If you go like to YouTube and what have you, you're going to see this question come up a lot. Very simple. It is an electrical, okay? It's a test that is checking your electrical, okay, in your heart, activity in your heart. So it records the electrical activity, the E in EKG, right? I'm telling you. And there you go. It tells you what the EKG is, okay? Almost done. Which of the following describes the ventricular systole? Systole is a contraction, okay? That's the first thing we got to remember. A ventricular contraction. So Which of the following describes the ventricular systole? Is it the relaxation or the contraction? Okay. Is it the entry of blood into the ventricles, or what is that? Repolarization of the ventricles. I'm going to put this right here. All right. And there it goes. It explains. Very nice. Right? And the last question. Thank you for bearing with me, guys. Sam has a blood pressure of 120/80. So what is 80 representing here? Does it represent the pressure in the ventricle during systole? Does it represent the pressure in the arteries during systole? Does it represent the pressure in the arteries during diastole? Diastole is the correct, if I'm not mistaken. Or does it represent the pressure in the ventricle during diastole? So up and foremost, get the ventricles out of the way. It's not about the ventricles, it's about the arteries. So now is it a systole or is it a diastole, which is the relaxing, right? And that's what I'm picking. Okay, and it is the correct answer, and it explains to you what the blood pressure, the lower blood pressure is called, and why that answer is correct. It explains about systole there. All right, and we're done. Quiz summary. Apparently I missed 2, right? The first one. Why is it saying that I missed this one? This one's correct. I don't know why it's saying I missed it. And sometimes this is glitchy, guys. So I know I missed the pacemaker of the heart. Okay, the pacemaker of the heart is the SA node, not the AV node. I don't know. I think this is glitching. This is glitching, but this one is correct as far as me getting it wrong, okay? The SA node, okay? But this one, number 14, in how the heart, okay, works, it is correct, but it showed it wrong. I don't know why. So, yeah, whatever, you know, it does do that sometimes. So it's gonna, I actually got a 95, okay? Not a 90, I think. Let's see. Yeah, 95, not a 90 or something. 94. I don't know. Well, I don't know. It was 20 questions, so they're 5 points each. Yeah. So there it is. Whatever. I'm going to click here to continue and move on to my next respiratory system, and I'll be back.